In our last video, we discussed about the cavitation phenomena. What is cavitation? How cavitation occurs? What is actually the meaning of cavitation? What is the science behind the cavitation? And we also discussed about the examples of the cavitation and how cavitation is related to the vapor pressure that we discussed in our last video. In this video, we will discuss that how cavitation occurs in the centrifugal pump, right? This is very important video if you are working in an industry or if you are studying engineering. Okay, this video is very important for you. So hello engineers, welcome in Core Engineering YouTube channel. In this video we will take two scenarios. In first scenario we will see that when our centrifugal pump is running normally, okay, that will be our case. And in another case, what will happen when our centrifugal pump will go below, means your eye pressure will go below the vapor pressure. Okay, that we will discuss in depth, right? And here you can see your one circuit diagram. Okay, my drawing is little bit poor, but please manage. Here you can see that this is my tank from where this centrifugal pump is taking the suction, right? There is the suction line, okay, and which is 8-inch line, and this is my discharge line, which is 6-inch line. In our last video we also discussed that why this one is 8-inch line and why this one is 6-inch line, means why suction line diameter is greater than the discharge line diameter. This is we also covered in our last video. If you haven't watched that video, please watch that video because that is very important concept which I have taught there. Here you can see the suction wall, then strainer, then reducer, and then there is a PG. This is very important. There is the pressure which is showing 2 kg per centimeter square, and after that with the help of this centrifugal pump your pressure is 10 kg per centimeter square, right? Okay, what is happening that how this pressure is increasing? This pressure is increasing with the help of the impeller, right? And this one is my impeller and this one is also my impeller. Now let me in the comments box which type of impeller is this one. Okay, so with the help of the impeller, what happens that impellers, first of all, what the impellers do? Impeller increases the kinetic energy, or it provides the kinetic energy, right? Okay, see here what happens that your suction pressure is 2 kg. Okay, so let's suppose 2 kg per centimeter square is here, and after that what will happen that your fluid will go into the centrifugal pump. Okay, let's suppose it is going here. So at the eye of the centrifugal pump, the cross sectional area is minimum, right? At the eye of the centrifugal pump your cross sectional area is minimum. So at that point your pressure will be minimum. Okay, and there is sometimes there is the vacuum is also created. Okay, so if the vacuum will create, what will happen? The delta P will create. Okay, because of this delta P your fluid will flow from here to here. Got it my points? And we also know that as area reduces your pressure will also reduce. Okay, so that's why your graph is like that, means from suction side the pressure was 2 kg per centimeter square, and because at the eye the area decreases, okay, area is minimum, you can say. Let's suppose if at the suction side the suction line was 8-inch, right? Here you can say the 8-inch. Now what will happen that the eye diameter, okay, and at the eye side the dia will be 2-inch. So what happens that your area decreases. Okay, because of that pressure will also decrease. Okay, so what will happen at that point? Your pressure will be minimum and your fluid will flow, right? And after that, as your impeller has provided the kinetic energy to the fluid, so what will happen that because of the centrifugal force that fluid will go outside, and with the help of this casing, this is my casing, right? that I have already covered in my centrifugal pump playlist. You can also watch that videos. Okay, with the help of this casing, your fluid will go towards the discharge side, and you can see in the casing area is increasing gradually. As the area increases, your pressure increases, and at that point your pressure will be 10 kg per centimeter square. It could be anything, right? Just I am giving you one example. And here you can see that this is my vapor pressure. Okay, means at the normal operation, what is happening, that at the I side, okay, at the I side your pressure is above the vapor pressure. Means let's suppose there is a fluid is water. It means that at the I side where is the pressure is minimum, that is above the vapor pressure of the water at that temperature. That is very important. Okay, the statement is very important. Okay, this is the condition when your pump is running normally, and mainly our pump is run normally. But now see the second scenario, right? This is my second scenario. What happens that there will be some suction pressure, same, let's suppose 2 kg per centimeter square. Now there is the water, okay, and now let's suppose that your pressure of the fluid and the pressure of the water goes equal to or below the vapor pressure, okay, goes equal to or below the vapor pressure of that fluid at that temperature. So what will happen, that it will go below this line, okay, it will go below this line. So what will happen at that time? Okay, if you know about the boiling, so what will happen, that in the boiling case, what happens, that as your pressure of the fluid goes equal to or below the vapor pressure, so boiling starts, right? So here also what happens, that after this point the boiling will start, right? It will happen where? It will happen at the I side here. Okay, so now what is happening, that the boiling will start, means your water will boil, okay, and at that point here you can see that at that point your pressure is minimum, right? And after that your pressure is increasing. Why it is increasing? Because of the casing. Your pump is running, your impeller will provide the kinetic energy, and that kinetic energy will also convert into the pressure energy with the help of the casing. So what will happen, that your bubbles form, okay, because of the boiling. Now what happens, that as the pressure increases, so what will happen, that in this bubble the pressure will be applied from everywhere. So what will happen, that bubble size will be reduced, okay, and after some time that bubble will be burst up, or simply you can say implode. So what will happen, that as this bubble will be implode or burst, so this empty space will be occupied by the water, okay, and the liquid, you can simply say, and that liquid comes, okay, and that liquid strike very fast, okay, at the surface of the casing or at the internals of the centrifugal pump, right? So what happens, that because of that your pump, okay, your impeller can be damaged. Got it my points? What I want to say, as see here, as bubbles form, okay, then the pressure is applied on that bubbles from everywhere. So what will happen, that the bubble size will be reduced. So let's suppose at this point your bubbles is weak. So as this bubble burst up, what will happen, that all the liquid will occupy this space, and this liquid will come very fast, means its velocity will be very high. So what will happen, that it will impact your surface of the pump, okay. So that's why we say that the cavitation is not good for our centrifugal pump. That's why we always try to keep our pump away from the cavitation, okay. The cavitation is not good for the pump. So if let's suppose if cavitation will be there, so it will damage the internal parts of your centrifugal pump. Got it my points? So that was about the cavitation in the centrifugal pump. I hope you understood this video. If you have any doubt in this video, please let me in the comments box. I'll try to give you the reply as soon as possible, and please also suggest me which type of topics you want in our upcoming videos so that I could cover that videos as well. Okay, so thanks for watching. Till then, keep learning.